Are we?
I don't know. We clicked the button. I don't know if we're live yet. Fingers crossed here that we're live. Are the computer elves, oh please, do what you're supposed to. Everything be working. If you all can see us, hear us, that kind of thing, please give us a thumbs up. Tell us in the chat because, well, we have no way of knowing. So, but everything looks good. We've got green lights on our end. What do we have?
I'm told we're live now.
All right. Thank you, Amy.
Here we are.
Okay. Well, I'm Carolyn Doobie, and I'm thrilled to be here playing with you here in Wanderlust Live. And I have my very talented assistant with me who's helping me out reading and talking. Oh my, we're hearing sounds. Okay. That's the joy of having multiple computers going. Hope you didn't get a lot of feedback on that. Anyway, he's going to be the one keeping an eye on the chat. That way he can kind of tell me what's going on because for me to focus in that many places, well, the trains of thoughts will just disappear over and over again. So, well, thank you for all the hellos, Leslie. I'm glad to see you. So many different people in here. Michelle, so many names people I recognize. It's been so long since I've been live, so I'm really grateful that you're here. Thank you for joining me for this. And now, if you're familiar with me, you know how much I love rules. But so that's why I'm going to talk about the rules of art journaling. And before we dive in, I should mention, I'll save that for later. Anyway, okay, so again, this is Dave, the husband, who is helping me. And he has promised me that he will be behaved for this. He will be on his best behavior because this is live and you just never know. Stop it. Okay, he promised. Anyway, so back to the art and the rules. So he's living by a few rules right now. Anyway, so with art journaling, when you're creating, if you're new to art journaling, even if you've been doing it a while, if you ask multiple people to define what art journaling is, you're going to get multiple answers. And the reason for that is there are no rules to this. This is not an Olympic sport. We do not have a governing body. We can do whatever we want. And that's one of the things I really love about art journaling is we each get to do it in our own way. But the other thing is we also all follow rules, including me. But the trick is to know which ones to follow and which ones to kick to the curb, which ones you don't want to do. And that's what we're going to be doing here in this live stream. Now, the supply list, if you looked at it, is blank because I have no idea what I'm going to be using here today because I'm not choosing what I play with. You're choosing for me. And
I'm choosing for you.
Well, they're choosing. I was pointing at the chat, okay? And then, but then he is, because it's very, very unscientific. So if you want something very scientific, you're in the wrong place. But he's going to read through the chat. He's going to find the answers and tell me so there's no bias. I can't pick them. He's going to be picking them. And chats, I don't know if you've ever done these before, but sometimes they can go a little quickly. And if it's going quickly, we're not saying it's going to be the first or the third. It's the first one he sees.
Or I could just make something up.
Yes, you could.
And you will never know.
Oh, that's true. I'm in a lot of trouble here. Okay, so that's how it's going to work. So the first thing for my art journaling that I'm going to do today is I need to know what colors I'm going to start with. So what I would like you guys to do is start tossing some names of colors that you want to see me use. Just put one in at a time. And he is going to read through whatever you have, and he's going to tell me one color to use to start with. So, and it can be any color, and I can't say no to it. Now, while you're typing that in, let me explain to you how all the suggestions will work with this. So what's going to happen is I'm going to ask you for what I'm going to do next. You're going to type in whatever you think I should do. And if I can do it, awesome. If I can't, I've got to figure out a way around it. And if I don't have the supply that you're mentioning, then I've got to find a substitution. So those are the parameters, the rules that we're playing here with this one. All right, my first color.
First color, I see lime.
Yes, thank you. Whoever picked that one.
And fuchsia pink.
And fuchsia pink. Okay, we get another one. And a third color.
A third color.
Yes.
Oprah pink.
Oprah
pink.
It's opera pink. They might mean opera pink.
I want Oprah pink, and I want it now.
Okay. We'll just call you an internet troll then.
Okay.
All right. So I've got my colors, and I'm going to flip over now to the page. The very exciting, very blank page that I've got here. Now, when you're art journaling, before I do that, let me go back here one last time. And now, how do you know what rules you're playing by? One of the things is, anytime you say you need or you should, that's a clue there's probably a rule. And one of the things I get asked a lot about art journal pages is, do I need to gesso it before do I need to prepare it before I put stuff on it? And if you're asking that, you're probably thinking there might be a rule that you have to gesso. No, you don't have to do anything. If you put gesso on, things behave a little differently than if you don't. And so it's not that you have to, it's do you want to. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to do halvesies. I'm going to do some gesso and some not gesso on here. That way we've got some variety, so you can see if you're ever wondering if gesso makes a difference. It kind of depends on what supply you're using and what technique and all that kind of stuff. It's like there isn't an exact answer to anything here. And because I'm putting white on white, I know that you can see this so clearly. It is just absolutely obvious what I'm doing.
Wow, that really pops.
Right, white on white. And I'm doing a thin layer just so it dries quickly, because wet stuff takes longer to dry. All right, so now I've got my 3 colors that you all have told me I have to use. So I've got a fuchsia pink. I've got this. Oh, and then if you ever think, wow, do I need to use a paint palette? You don't have to. If you feel like you want to, go for it. Do it. Follow whatever rule you want. And if you're like, I don't want to waste my time, lose that, 7 seconds of my life with a paint palette, then you don't have to. And if you think, wow, should I have a plan before I start? Can you see how those things become rules, things that we follow? If you think if you want a rule before you start, not a rule, a plan before you start, then do it. Have a plan. If you don't want a plan, don't have one. Now, for me, some people love having a plan when they start, and I'm not one of them. For me, if I have a plan, I don't enjoy it quite as much. I like it just seeing where it goes, how it develops, where it takes me. So for me, the rule I prefer is to do it without much of a plan. But does that mean for you, should you have a plan? Well, that's personal preference. If you want a plan and that's a rule you want to follow it, do it. Because it's the thing about finding the rules that make it more enjoyable for you, more fun. Because this is an art journal. This isn't work. This is play. Enjoy what you're doing. All right, so now, what do I do next? I've got colors on there. I've got a background started. You guys have to tell me what to do next, because I'm not the one deciding what will happen on this page. So feel free to type it in there, and it can be anything, because if I've got it, I will do it. If not, I have to substitute. You can be as crazy as you want or as conservative as you want. It's completely up to you.
I have a quick question.
Sure.
Has anyone ever used black gesso?
Ooh, that's a great question. Where do I have my black gesso? Let's see. I've got clear gesso. Oh, there's some black gesso. So, great question, and we'll just use that question as a segue to add a little something on here.
Okay. We do have some suggestions. Would you like to hear them?
No.
No. Okay. You're doing the black gesso.
I'm going to put a little black gesso on here.
Okay. I thought that was a suggestion, it turns out. I thought it was just a question.
And maybe you should... it turns out if you let it sit for a while, you should mix it first. This is actually...
That's a rule. That sounds like a rule to me.
Do you know what? You are absolutely correct. That is one of the secret rules.
Secret rules.
Well, yeah,
I love those.
Because I didn't even realize I had that as a rule, but... Because when it's so thick, it ends up being kind of thin on the paper if you don't mix it. So this is one of those rules that I'm in favor of if I want the gesso to behave a certain way.
I might be familiar with secret rules.
So now I've got it on the back end of the brush. I don't know. Let's do. By the way, gesso, generally people put it as an undercoating because it seals the paper, gives you a surface to work on, it takes the paint better, blah, blah, blah. All that stuff. But just because they say it's supposed to go on the bottom doesn't mean you have to. It's really a nice, rich, dark color, and it's very, very matte.
Oh, I kind of like that.
Now, on for my next suggestion, but here's the thing, is you're not going to read me the suggestion. You're going to pick one for me.
Pick one. So
yes.
So I
you
just
tell
have
me
to
I have
pick
to do.
one. Oh,
yes.
Okay. Jeez.
He's feeling the pressure now.
Okay, not that one. Not that one. Stamp with a gel plate.
Okay.
Is that something you can do?
Yes, that's something I can do.
I feel like I just told you to build a rocket ship.
No, you did not tell me to build a rocket ship. However, now we get to the point of interpretation.
Okay.
How am I going to interpret this? All right, so here, you entertain while I get a stamp.
Oh!
You entertain.
I wasn't told there was going to be a pop quiz.
Whoops. Oops. Oh, well. You can take it up with management.
All right. Okay, look at that. Okay. All right. I'm just reading the suggestions here.
He didn't know he was going to get on the spot like that. That was extra fun for me.
I never know that.
I know.
And it always happens. You would think I'd figure it out.
I know, right?
Yep.
You would think that, but nope, you haven't yet.
Oh, no, I'm ready next time. They're giving me some really good suggestions.
Oh, okay. All right, good. That's how this works.
Yes.
All right, so what I've got here is a gel plate. If you aren't familiar with those, they feel like gelatin, but they're not made out of gelatin. And no, I didn't really want to do that. So I didn't want to do that. So I'm just going to lift it up. Pulled off a bunch of the paint. I'll pull off some more paint. Because you know what? We get to change our mind. There, that's what I want. Nice thin layer. And I've got this great little rubber stamp. I believe this one is one that was created by, if my memory's correct, I'm pretty sure this is by Everything Art. This Kasha did this one, I think. But I'm not going to completely trust my memory. So, because I'm at that point where my memory is not always the greatest. Wow, and that was really, wow. Not what I expected. Okay, well that'll happen. And this now we come to one of the rules that I used to play by. One of my secret rules was I had to like it at every layer. It had to look good to me at every moment. But right now, we're just adding some layers on here. And the fact that I'm not completely in love with it, that's okay. Because that's sometimes a rule that we feel like that pressure. I should like this at every moment. Nah. Anytime you get something on there you don't like, just slap some more stuff on there, which is what we're going to do now. All right, Dave, what's next?
What is next?
Yes. That is the question.
Buttons.
Okay, buttons. Buttons. Alrighty.
I picked the right one.
You did pick the right one. So.
It says Stump the Band Night.
Okay, so with buttons. Alrighty, so for some reason I'm thinking of a clown at this point now that you're saying buttons. But I don't have any buttons.
Oh, okay. Cheater.
No, not a cheater. It's the spirit of the challenge.
Oh, okay.
I'm not cheating.
Okay, you're getting off on a technicality. That's what I'm hearing.
Hey, we follow any rules we want, you know. So I am going to make a button.
Oh, okay. I like Ike.
No.
No?
No.
No. All right.
No,
Wow.
it's not going to be that. Okay.
Okay.
Yeah,
Okay.
so I'm going with the spirit of the challenge. I have a sneaky suspicion I know what might have been meant by it. Actually, the person who said buttons, did they mean like the kind on your clothes, that kind of thing? That's my suspicion.
I don't know. Well, I
But-
will let you know.
Okay. You let me know, because I'm going to make a different kind of button.
Okay.
And so I'm going to make a Wanderlust button. And it's not all going to fit in there the way I'm writing. So, I'll do another one. I got to write smaller.
Okay.
I'm going to make a Wanderlust button, not
Wow.
make Wanderlust Live.
Oh, wow. Where can I get me one of them?
Right here.
Okay.
All right, so I want 3
In
buttons.
my cart.
Okay, I'll put that in your cart for you.
Okay, the person, Naori, I'm sure I'm pronouncing it wrong, who asked for the buttons, she gave you a heart, which means she is happy with what you're doing.
Okay, so because I didn't have actual physical buttons, what I'm going to do is make my own. And I started thinking about the kind of buttons that you wear. that you put on that have a pin on the back, but I don't have one of those either. So I just substituted with these circles and did that. Oh, that's not where I want that.
Oh, yeah, she said, yes, she meant closed buttons, but she loves the paper buttons.
Okay. So the fact that we can shift it to anything we want.
Yes.
And by the way, I guess I should mention about Wanderlust, because that's why we're all here, right? Wanderlust Live. The great people at Everything Art put all this together, and I don't know if you guys know how much goes into behind the scenes to bring something like this together. So please give them a big round of applause. Amy is in here helping with the chat. She has been extremely busy and working quite a bit. So thank you to Everything Art for making this possible for us to be able to have this free weekend. And of course, if you're having fun, if you're enjoying this, there's an entire year of Wanderlust for you. And that's all for 2024, but registration's now open. And Amy, you're gonna have to correct me on this if I'm wrong. There's still a few early bird spots left. I'm thinking, but they're getting close to being sold out. So if you're thinking about Wanderlust, you may want to jump in. But now, speaking of jump in, let's jump back in and find out what is coming on next onto this page.
Okay.
What am I doing next?
Add 3 pieces of collage.
Okay. I'm going to do 3 pieces of collage from my secret collage stash.
Oh, somebody would love to know what goes on behind the scenes. Would you like to show them?
So behind the scenes for Wanderlust, what that means is a lot of planning, a lot of organizing.
I'm sure that's what they
meant.
A
lot of emails being sent, making sure that, because...
Oh, Amy says they did add, there are some left. They added extra, but they're getting snapped up.
Okay.
Oh, and somebody wants to know what lessons you're teaching.
Oh, I'm very excited about these two this year, because one of them is going to be, what am I not excited about? Let's just get real. One is about stenciling. And one of the hard parts with stenciling is there's so many techniques to what you can do when you're stenciling. How do you choose the one to use for the page that you're doing? And so I'm going to be talking about, one, different techniques that you can use, but also two, how you decide which one you want to do. What'd you do with my spatula thing?
Your spatula thing?
Yeah, my thing that I used to spread gel. Why'd you take it? He just always goes and takes these things. So that's the stenciling one. And we're going to be working on a page. I'm just basing the techniques actually off of a character in a book. And then you guys get to see what kind of strange books I read. But then the other one is going to be a grungy gel printing workshop or lesson. So that you're going to see how to build up that grunge, how to get the most out of that. We're going to be doing some techniques. We're going to be using found objects. Oh, I love gel printing. So
if somebody would like to know what that is that you just glued.
This is from the hardware store, and it's actually has an adhesive backing that I probably could have pulled this off.
Not glued anymore.
Nah, well, the glue's wet.
Yeah,
it takes a while for gel medium to... So this is from a hardware store. Another one of those things where, sometimes people feel like, oh, you need to use art supplies. Like anything can be an art supply. This is drywall tape, and it is. Ooh, look at that. Okay, that was kind of cool. All right, there's a little texture over there. So now I'm gonna move it. Oh, now where do I want to put it? I have completely.
Maybe you just leave it.
No, because they said put 3 things on here.
You can put something else.
I could, or I can cut it. But this is just paper. It's drywall tape. They had been found. Oh, I like that. Okay.
Somebody actually guessed it was drywall tape. I am ashamed I didn't know.
Are you kidding? You never know what I'm using from the hardware store. Like, you're always like, oh, which... By the way, it's so much fun when you go into the hardware store and you start asking for things like, that roll of red paper? And they're like, what do you use it for? I'm like, oh, I use it in art. But it's this roll of red paper. It really befuddles the people inside the hardware stores when I show up for that stuff. But anyway, so back to the rules and breaking the rules. One of the rules that some people play by is that, you have to use a proper art supply. And if that's a rule that you like and it serves you, go for it. But you don't have to. If you can use anything that you want. 1, 2.
But there might be consequences.
3. I don't know if it's consequences. They're just things that happen. They're just things that turn out a certain way because you use those things.
I suppose.
Like not letting the black gesso dry all the way means sometimes it gets into other things. Or was it the black paint? Whatever it was. There. All right. I've got my 3 bits of collage on there.
Okay. 3 pieces of flair, as somebody said.
A flare?
It's a flair. Yeah, that was another suggestion. Do you have flair?
I don't know what flare is.
I think of the movie Office Space, but
Okay, well, that's one I haven't seen. Another one of my cultural failings.
all right.
So what's flair?
That's flair is when you work at a restaurant and you're a server there and they make you put buttons on your uniform so that you look, dorky.
Okay, so I need them to tell me if this is what you mean by flair, or does it mean something? Sure, it's not a feather.
No.
Okay.
That's
all right.
That's a suggestion.
Okay, okay. Well, I just know how sometimes you read. So, all right. So I've got to make little buttons. Somehow I've got to have little buttons of stuff. How about sparkle? We'll do that.
Did somebody say buttons from Office Space? So thank you.
Okay, it is
Thank you,
the
Robin.
buttons from Office Space.
Yes.
I don't know what I did with my. Okay, so I'm gonna have to do buttons from Office Space. Alrighty. All right, so this is keeping me hopping.
Yeah, because
right.
we've already established you don't have buttons. Ha!
But these are flare like those little ones. So even though I don't have exactly that, and by the way, it's not like I have to follow any of these what he says, because that would be
I'm pretty sure that's the rule.
Yeah, but I can break the rules if I want. Because the thing about rules is you just follow the ones you like and ignore the ones you don't. I mean, that doesn't work like, when you're driving a car. That's bad.
That's bad.
This is art. This is your mixed media. This is just having fun using
Do
your
whatever the heck you want.
Yes, you absolutely can.
That's the rule. I have to say heck instead of the other word.
Yes, and yes, we're just keeping you in the land of good language. Clean language. We're keeping you there.
Okay.
And you get a gold star for doing that.
Heck yeah!
But you only get one, so it doesn't matter how many times you do it.
Okay. What the heck is going on?
Yep, still.
Heck.
You might lose your gold star.
Okay.
It might go away. So, in the idea of those little buttons that go on the flare, that kind of stuff, I am putting these little squares on, kind of along that line. And so anytime there's something that you kind of have an idea in your head or that you think you want to do, if you don't know exactly how to do it or have the exact supplies for it, just use whatever you've got on hand. Like there's no. So this, in case is dress pattern. Because the tissue paper from the dress pattern, except the dress pattern is brown. And I don't like that.
Obvious. The dress pattern, I saw that coming from a mile away.
I'm sure you did. I'm so sure you did.
Yeah, see, I didn't spot the drywall tape, but that dress pattern
You did not.
zeroed right in on it.
All right, what's the next thing I need to do?
Washi tape.
Washi tape. Oh, thank you. Whoever said that, thank you, because now I get to use my washi tape.
That would be Susan.
All right, well, thank you, Susan. But now you've given me a difficult situation. Because now I have to choose a washi tape. And this is where I can find myself getting caught up in a little bit of a secret rule, because it's got to be the right washi tape. It's got to be the good washi tape. It's got to look good. No, it really doesn't. It's washi tape. So whatever I put on here, the worst thing that happens is I pull it off or cover it up. So that really takes the pressure off when I realize that that is just a rule, and I have got my numbers here. Color-wise, they do not perfectly match everything. Crimes are being committed because everything doesn't match. And, I jokingly say that, but there is a part of me that's like, it's supposed to match. Things are supposed to match. And that's really more of a rule thing that I don't have to follow unless I want to.
So,
Yes?
Amy said put one in each hand and they can choose.
Oh, that's a good idea next time. All right. I take that off of me to make that decision.
Yep.
I like that. One of the things I like
already chosen that.
Well, yeah, I'm already doing. Have you not noticed? I'm already doing it.
Is that what washi tape is? I had no idea.
Oh, let's see. I want to put that. Where do I want to put that? I'll put that over there.
Oh, is the camera supposed to be on the journal? Ah,
don't-
vigilant.
Yeah, you made me look. That was panic time. Thanks so much for that cardiac checkup. All right, what's next here?
Let's see here.
You're supposed to be ready.
Cardboard.
Okay, cardboard. Oh, I don't know if I have any cardboard.
Are you sure? Cause pretty sure we have
Cardboard.
oh, look at that.
I've got a piece of cardboard.
Okay.
Oh, and by the way, for me, when I'm art journaling, if I do it on a piece of like this is one I did another day. If I do it on a piece of cardboard, even though it's not in a journal, I still call it art journaling because it's the same skills, it's the same stuff. And so big piece of this is a big piece of cardboard. I'm gonna make buttons since everybody keeps saying buttons to me today.
Okay.
I'm gonna make
Buttons,
little round
buttons.
shapes.
Okay. It looks like we're not in Kansas anymore.
Are you implying that that's not round?
No, that's the button from Office Space.
Oh.
I'm still thinking about Office Space.
Let's see. I'll put that up there. I'm feeling the circle vibe.
Okay.
All right. And you know what? I really want to put that there design-wise. It's going to cover up those words. I'm going to be okay with that. All right. What's next?
Posca pens.
Oh, Posca pens.
Whatever those are.
You don't know what Posca pens are?
Did I at least pronounce it right?
You did.
Okay.
You did indeed. So now I'm going to go with the bright green. Now, in general, if you take a pen and put it over wet paint, you're putting that pen at risk. But I'm okay with that. Because any art supplies I have to be able to survive in harsh conditions. But just so you know, as you're doing stuff, if you're worried about your pens, don't put them on wet paint. It's generally a rule that people follow because they don't want to ruin their pens, but I'm going to live on the edge here today. Gotta put that on there. All right, so there's one place where I used to really follow the rules and the secret rules, and that was, anybody else here ever a scrapbooker? Because when my kids were really little, 25 plus years ago, I started getting into scrapbooking. And, you know, I took some little classes and I'd go to crops and I'm doing that kind of stuff. And I noticed and I picked up a rule and I didn't even realize I'd picked it up. So working on my albums and, you know, you put everything chronologically in scrapbooks. And what I found is I had a lot of photos. Remember back in the day before when you had to actually get them developed to see what they looked like, you know, in ancient times, and you get the free duplicates. So there are a lot of photos everywhere. And I was always finding more to add in. And so I would never start the album because I had to wait until I had all the photos together because it had to be chronological. And can you spot the rule that it had to be chronological? There's no rule to that. For some people, they love doing it that way and that helped them get books done. For me, it got in my way and kept me from actually getting my scrapbooks going. So when I realized that, I went, and they don't have to be in chronological order. So our family scrapbooks are completely jumbled. You'll look at a kid at 2 and a kid at 8. The same, like it's all around the place. And for me, I had to change that rule because I was never going to get my albums done. I was never going to get any of them ever completed because of that rule. And it wasn't that anybody told me the rule. I just kind of picked it up from watching people. And that's a really extreme version in scrapbooking, but I'm willing to bet some of these exist for you in art journaling. You've seen other people do it this way, and so you might make the assumption that you have to do it that way, or that's the way you should do it. And it doesn't have to be. If it works for you and you get it done, like you enjoy it, do it. And if you find that you don't enjoy it or you don't like it, then don't do it. And that's one of the reasons why I like trying out different things, because you see, do you like it? Do you not like it? Do you want to do this? Do you not want to do this? Because you ultimately decide whatever rules you want to follow. So upon that note, what is my next thing that I need to do?
I've been waiting for you to ask
Oh, no.
that. We
Oh,
have
no.
multiple requests for you to watch Office Space. So let me split it up right here. We better get started. It's kind of a long movie.
Am I being basically tried to told that I need to watch that movie since I've missed that one?
Yes. Anyway,
Okay.
let me see here.
Oh, he's got to read. Okay, we'll see what that does.
Magazine clipping.
Oh, a magazine clipping. Okay. Alrighty. I actually have a magazine. And this is a travel magazine. I love this thing. So, what am I going to grab from here? Oh, that looks good. I like that green. That blue back here. Alrighty. So I'm going to go. So while I'm doing this, are there any rules that you all feel like you follow that you didn't realize that you followed? Is there any time where you feel like there's a certain way you should do things and you're like, I don't really want to do it that way, but I think I should? Because those kinds of things are secret rules and you don't have to do them. Because this is an art journal and you can do it any way you want to. That is one of, now if for those of you, I know some of you have done Wanderlust before, that's one of the things I really appreciate about Wanderlust is you get to do it, you can do it just the way the teacher did it, or you can do it any way you want. You're not trapped one way or the other. Excuse me, sorry about that. And so that means if you see an idea and it starts taking you in a different direction, you can go with it. Or you can just try it exactly as the instructor has it. And then you start to find out, do I like this? Do I not like it? Is this a rule that I want? Is this a technique that I want? I just love that there's so much variety in it with all that buffet of teachers. All right. I'm feeling circles today. I'm not sure why, but I'm going to keep going with it.
Okay.
I'm going to keep doing circles. Now, these are magazines, and so I'm not going to use gel medium because that's got a lot of water in it. That'll make it buckle. So that's why I'm going to do glue stick. It's drier. And that way my magazine won't buckle as much. And this one, I'm going to hang over the edge. I like to have things hanging over the edge.
Allowed to do that?
I am allowed to do that because I decide the rules that I'm playing by.
Okay.
All right, what's my next rule?
Tissue paper.
Okay. Tissue paper. Okay. All right, you entertain while I go grab some.
That's fine as long as the camera isn't on me.
Oh, is that? Well, no, the camera's got to be on you.
No, it's fine. All right, I have a dad joke.
Oh, no. I'm so sorry, everybody.
Okay, I dropped my copy of Oliver Twist on my toe. It hurt like the dickens.
Oh, I'm so sorry, everybody. I got to find some tissue paper.
Really? Because that's the only dad joke I have.
Oh, please.
I'm just kidding.
All right. So I will save you all, and I will go with these. I've got tissue paper words here. And what I do is I'll stencil words onto tissue paper and cut them up, and then I've just got stuff to kind of grab, and we just see what words come out. Oh, flustered. Oh, I like that. 4 words flustered.
Really? What made you think of that word?
I don't know. All right, so with tissue paper, if you want it to disappear, you got to use a wet glue. And gel medium, although it's wet, it's not runny enough. I'm going to use fluid matte medium. But guess what? You can use any kind of really runny glue. I guess I should have decided where I was going to put this before I... You know what, we're just going to go right here. We're just going to do this. And pop that in there. And the tissue paper just disappears. And there we go. Now that green I picked up from over there because the Posca pen apparently wasn't dry. Cool. Adds a little bit to it. All right. Are you laughing at me or something?
No, Amy's telling a dog joke. Or a dog joke. A dad joke.
A dog joke? Okay, you're going to tell
How
me?
can you tell it's a dogwood tree?
How?
By the bark.
Oh, Amy. Oh, that is such a dad joke. All right, what's my next thing? What's the next thing they want me to do to this page?
Okay, I'll have to scroll down.
Well, yeah.
Because I missed some...
What's next? Where is this page going?
Crackle paste.
Crackle paste. I don't have any of that. So, what I will do is find a gel print that has some crack in it. Let's see. Since I don't have a crackle paste, I can just find something that has some crackle in it. Because crackle paste is also one of those things that takes a while to dry. Ooh, look at the crackle in there. There's some crackle.
Oh, look at that.
All right, I got crackle. And I'll just cut that up. I'll just cut this apart. Let's see. That's cool. Now we're introducing some glue to this. Ooh, I want it right there. I want it right under that. Now where did my glue go? There's some glue. Slap some glue. Oh, another rule that I used to follow, or that I didn't even realize, says one of my secret rules was that glue should go all the way to the edge of something. And one of the things I realized is, because I'm terrible at getting glue all the way to the edge, and I used to go, oh, I should get all the glue out of the edge. I got to be more careful. But what I found is if I ever want to tuck stuff underneath it, it's kind of nice to have edges not glued down all the way. So I realized that was one of those secret rules that I was following. And once I noticed it, I'm like, nope, not following that one anymore. All right, what's next?
Stencil.
A stencil. Okay.
I'm being told I'm resistant to me getting painting because somebody wants me to put my handprint on it.
Well, you know what? Why don't we just make you stencil?
Oh,
So I will
see.
grab the stencil.
Okay.
And...
Oh, is this Freaky Friday? So, okay.
Yes.
So I get to pretend to be the artist and you get to be the lovely assistant?
No, I
Okay.
tell you where to stencil. And you do it.
Okay.
That's how that's going to go.
Thank God.
You are not. No.
Okay, so what you're saying is you don't want me to ruin your perfect page.
It's not so much that it's perfect.
It's
But-
it's just not.
I have trust issues with you.
Really?
Yes.
How long have you known me? Long enough?
30 plus years. 30 plus years. All right, so you are going to use some of that orange paint on the
Okay.
cosmetic sponge. So put just the right amount on there.
Just the right amount.
Yes, that's too much. Blot it off so it's a nice even coverage.
All right,
I'm
all
purposely
right.
giving him
How about
obnoxious
that?
directions. All right, that should
Is that
work.
better? Good
yes,
enough?
that should
That's
be
still
good.
Too much?
Nope, not me.
Okay.
And now what I want you to do is that star.
That star.
Right there.
Okay.
That star.
Okay. As long as I don't get any paint on me.
Of course, of course.
Because
You probably need to get some more orange paint.
I had more on there.
But no.
Hello.
If you have more on there, it runs underneath, and I didn't want it to run underneath.
Uh-huh. Okay. More on being the operative word. Okay.
Well, I didn't say that. You did.
No, you did.
And now we've got the chat completely unsupervised. So I'm watching him.
Okay, I think that's it. Wait. I missed a spot. Oh, no, it's not perfect.
Are you happy?
Yes, I am so happy. Oh, look at that.
All right, so we need another one now.
Another one?
Yes,
All
you got to
right.
do another one. But we're going to do another one of a different size. We're
Okay.
going to go with that one right there.
That one right there. Okay.
Yes, and you're going to have to hold the stencil this
Oh,
time.
and everything?
So
Oh.
I can keep an
So-
eye on the chat.
Oh, 'cause
Yeah, that's it. Uh-huh.
Are they getting out of control?
All right. So, okay. Oh, we've got a great rule here. Useless sticky rule. Don't use expensive materials when you don't know what you're doing. Yes, Sally, that is one. Oh, man, have I fallen into that one. Especially my favorite tube of golden paint. Yep. Did everybody buy that first time they bought an expensive tube of paint? And they're like, oh, I can't use it. It's too good. Like, yes, I have fallen into that one so many times. And that is definitely a rule worth tossing out. Because there are art supplies and we should have fun with them. All right, so I want one more star.
One more. Oh, okay.
One more. This time you pick which star. Which star do you think we should use?
I like that one.
You like that one?
Yep.
Okay.
I picked the wrong one.
There it
didn't
goes.
I?
No, it truly wasn't. You get to pick it. You can pick it.
Okay. Because I wanted a small one so it would be over quicker. There we go. Look
All
at
right.
that.
You did the stenciling.
Tree perfect stars.
All righty.
All right.
All right, so now you have to tell me what it is I'm doing next.
Okay.
What else are we going to add? One last thing. We're going to do one more thing to this page before we stop for today.
Okay. Somebody called me a tool. That's nice. Holly suggests draw some black spirals. I think it's draw. Draw some black spirals.
Draw some black spirals. Okay.
Okay.
All right, to do that, I am going to bring out the pencil that can write on anything. This thing called the Stabilo All Pencil. And the thing I love about these, sorry, I had to go grab some water, is because of how dark they get when they get wet. If you haven't used these things are just magnificent. I mean, they are just incredibly vibrant by just putting a little bit of water on them. And what am I drawing? I'm drawing spirals?
Black spirals, yes.
Okay. The other reason why I like using these is because they're impossible to ruin. If I get anything on the tip of the pencil, then all I have to do is wipe it off. There are no moving parts that I have to worry about, like the ballpoint pens that I have clogged up many a time. Now, she said spiral, but I kind of like the idea of just putting a little something edging on there, so that's what I'm going to do.
So you're breaking the rule.
Yeah, it's more of a, yep, it's a springboard.
You're not a very good
of
listener, I've noticed that.
That's just with you, dear.
So that's, I'm special.
Oh, yeah, you are special. Oh, you are special. Yes.
Uh-huh.
Uh-huh. All right, I got some spirals on there. And this is kind of what happens to me when, with the Wanderlust lessons, is sometimes you'll start with the technique that they've got, and then it just kind of leads you in different directions. Like, and I hadn't thought about the spirals, so thank you for those. And now I just keep adding little bits here and there. And, yeah.
I feel like it needs something else.
Oh, no. What do you think it needs? Oh,
I don't know, a focal point?
Oh, so this brings up a great rule that a lot of people follow. And that is that the art journal page has to be finished. It doesn't.
Of course it does.
Like, we're coming close, like we've been working on this for about 40 minutes. And even if the page isn't finished to me when we're done, I can stop working on it. I can step away and come back to it whenever I want. This is not mayonnaise. It will not expire. It will not go bad. It won't. But yet there's that rule that so many times you feel like I've got to finish this page before I start the next one. No, you don't. You can do them in any order that you want. I can leave a page half finished, partially finished, almost finished, at any stage for as long as I want, because I get to pick the rules that I want to play by. And when you're art journaling, you get to pick them too. So for this one, we get time to add more stuff. We can add a few more things to it, but probably not going to finish this page today. And I'm okay with that. I don't feel like it's a rule that I'm breaking, because it's a rule I don't pay any attention to. So you got another one for me?
First, somebody wants to know what kind of pencil that was.
Oh, that was a Stabilo pencil, a Stabilo All Pencil. And it writes on paper, glass, plastic, metal, but it's really great when it's wet.
Okay.
And it gets very, very dark. Very, very dark look.
Okay.
Okay. What? Something else.
Okay, you're gonna love this one. Splatter paint.
Oh. So for that one, I'm actually going to bring in some spray ink. No, I'm not. I'm going to bring in alcohol ink. That's what I want.
Alcohol?
Yes, alcohol.
Okay, now we're getting somewhere.
So alcohol ink, usually you do on glossy surfaces because the way the ink runs and that kind of stuff. I actually really like using it more on something like this, because it just makes the best little splatters, and it's relatively controllable. And because it's alcohol ink, it dries really, really quickly. Whereas with paint, I end up doing more globs than I do if I want little splatters. I like using alcohol ink to do that. Even though you're supposed to use alcohol inks on glossy surfaces, you can use them on matte surfaces too. Okay, we can break that rule. All right, what's next?
Yeah, let me see here.
Uh-oh.
Scribble journaling.
Ooh, scribble journaling. Okay. So for that, Do you know what? I've got some of that blue there, and I'm going to add a little more blue like that. Maybe. Do we think this is a blue that'll match? No, that blue won't match. All right. Let me try. Oh, I know. This will match. So this is, I'm going to hope the paint comes out of it. Every now and then these clog up on me. Yep, this one clogged up on me. Okay, so not that one. Let me try and poke a hole in it. So these are, I love bottles of paint that make it easy for me to write with them, so I don't actually have to try and write with a paintbrush because I'm not that good at that. And come on. There we go. Now it's coming out. So with a tip like this, I can just write directly from the bottle. And let's put a little bit on here. Now, when I do this, people ask, am I writing anything? And yes, I am actually thinking words as I'm doing this.
That's
and
actually what your writing looks like anyway. Just so you know.
Who asked me to read what was on the grocery list to them the other day? You couldn't read your own writing, Mr. Dog Food.
Oops,
But-
I forgot about that.
Sit in that glass house and throw those stones. So this word, I don't know if you can you read this one, Dave? Do you know what this word says?
Oh, that's your name.
No, that's grateful.
That's grateful?
Yes, I was writing grateful.
Of course, look at that.
My handwriting teachers from like kindergarten and first grade would be cringing, but I don't care if it's legible. I don't care if I can read it. I just like getting out whatever I'm feeling, thinking about onto the page. So for me, that's why when I scribble journal, I am actually thinking of something, but just not actually making it legible. So that's my opinion about scribble journaling. And guess what? That's my rule for me. Mm-hmm. For you, if you like it so that you want it so that people can read what you're writing so that you can read it later, then absolutely go with that rule. Because again, we get to pick whatever rules we want for ourselves. So, all right.
Fabric.
Fabric. Okay, do you have a dad joke for him?
I have to look up a dad joke.
Entertain them. Now you're on camera. I've got to get fabric.
All right. Let's see here.
Okay, I'm back. You don't even have a
Already?
dad joke yet. Yes, I'm back.
Okay.
Oh my goodness. You are okay. So I got
Put
this
me
little.
on the spot.
I got this little piece of fabric because I've been playing around with improv quilting lately, and so I'm gonna put it right there. Oh, I like that one right there. Cut that off there. Marvelous forwards flustered. And by the way, I have no idea exactly what that means, but I like how they sound together. So I'm going to stick that on there because on an art journal page, if I'm doing it, do I actually have to know what it means exactly? Nope, I don't. Alrighty, so we got that on there. And now before we wrap up, because I want to make sure people have time before the next live here for Wanderlust Live to get to the restroom to do those kinds of things. Anybody have any questions? Anything that you want to know about what we've been doing here? Have you seen any questions go by? Have we missed any?
Let me see here.
Do you know what you missed?
Somebody would like some red wine.
Ooh, yeah.
Let's see here.
Some with an umbrella in it for me.
Uh-huh. Right.
Amy, do you see anything? Any questions that we've missed? Anything like that? Just want to make sure we get everything answered. And of course, as we're wrapping this up, this is all in celebration of Wanderlust. This entire weekend, all of this play, all of this fun. And if you'd like a full year of Wanderlust, early bird spots are almost gone. Amy will throw the link in there for you so you can take a peek at it. If you would like an entire year of fun, I've got 2 lessons coming up in this upcoming year, and there are 30 plus teachers. What a buffet of things to try.
There's a question.
Okay.
What's improv quilting?
Improv quilting is quilting without rules. Where, so I've been very hesitant to get into quilting because it's about carefully measuring and pieces neatly done and again, precision, 1/4 inch seams, all this stuff that it's just, no, those rules do not make me happy. I don't enjoy them, so I don't enjoy the process that way. But with improv quilting, you just start sewing stuff together. And you don't have to follow rules. Things don't have to be measured. They don't have to be pre-cut. That's talking my language. That's the kind of quilting that I enjoy. So that's just a little piece that I started just playing in it here and there. So I'm just getting into that. But that's because those are the rules that I enjoy. Those are the rules I like following. So they're the ones I do follow. And again, for each person, you get to decide which ones you like and then do more of those. Alrighty. All right, I see people are liking the forward flustered thing. Okay. Let's see. Kelly makes you think about getting over anxious and worrying things. Yes. Yes. That's a great way to interpret that. I love when just these random things, kind of the serendipity of it, kind of comes together in an art journal page. Love when that happens. Yeah. All right, so looks like we've covered all the questions. We've got all that stuff done. I hope you are comfortable deciding what rules are for you. Again, if you hear, do I need to do this? Should I do this? It might be a secret rule, and if you don't want to follow it, you don't have to. All right. Well, thank you very much for helping here. And he behaved pretty well. He did do a pretty decent job.
I rule.
Sure. Okay. And again, thank you all so much for being here. If you're catching the replay, thank you for being here for the replay. And I hope you all have fun in your art journals. Thank you. Bye-bye. Okay, where's the button?
Which one? Button?
The button to
There's
end
no
it.
Button.
Well, how do I get out?
Finish.
Oh, finish. There's a button. All right, technicality.